Hi everyone, I'm Antoine Mikhtarian, and if you hear some noise in the background, that's totally normal. If you hear some screaming and stuff, it's just my wife working out in the room next door. And, well, she doesn't scream, but the coach, Shanti, she's doing the T25 stuff, so the coach is, high energy. But yeah, so I just came back home from a beautiful, short but sweet holiday in Spain, and I basically have 2 days left before a new video is supposed to come up on my YouTube channel. We are Friday the 19th, February 2021, if you're watching this in the future. And I usually release videos on Sundays, so yeah, I have to have a video ready for Sunday 21st. Since I don't have a lot of time, well, I said to myself, let's make it a challenge. Today I'm gonna try to basically compose a song in 1 day. And just to spice things up, because I'm usually always using the Strandberg 7-string and doing metal stuff, I've been listening to a lot of Joe Bonamassa and Miles Kennedy lately, so yeah, I'm gonna do something with this. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, so yeah, let's get to work, because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so I had this silly idea yesterday evening while I was noodling around with this guitar. And so I have a starting point, which is basically a riff. Yeah. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is try to come up with an overall structure and then record a guiding guitar. Just to get an overall picture of the song, and that way I can use that to then compose the drums, record the bass, and then record again the guitars, but in a much better way. And actually, this whole experience is a little bit silly because I'm not used to playing this guitar. I'm a very morning guy, but usually in the morning I do, video editing and a lot of stuff that don't involve guitar playing or creativity. The more we advance in the day, so afternoon and evening, that's when I get creative and ideas pop up. So yeah, this is sort of a new thing to try to compose in the morning. And before I forget, I'm using, as always, my good old trusty, it's not all, but my trusty Ampero. Usually I use a rectifier style amp. I created a patch, a preset based on a Soldano, another new thing. So hopefully this works out okay. I don't know. Great. The riff happens to be at 115 BPMs, and I usually put a click on 8th notes so that it's easy to track with, and I may, depending on the moment, I may put it in 8th note triplets just to make it easy for myself. Instead of messing up with Reaper's click, I just create a MIDI track. So don't feel guilty to put a super subdivided click, because that helps a lot, at least in my opinion. I think it's very comfortable. Because of the nature of the challenge, I'm probably not gonna reinvent the wheel whatsoever. I'm gonna probably keep the structure pretty straightforward. Yeah. Hello, I would like to record, please. Okay. Yeah, mute the DI, it's better. Okay. What's wrong with me? I have my volume down. Okay. Yeah. Boom. Actually, I realized that this may be good for the end of the song. So yeah, I think for now, since we are heading into the verse. By the way, I will probably have to write lyrics, and I don't feel super confident writing, lyrics on the spot. Sometimes it flows and sometimes it takes 2 weeks. So hopefully today will be a flowing day. But yeah, that will be later. Since we are going directly to the verse after that, I will probably do and then whatever it is that I want to play on the verse. Yeah, I'm taking this from Joe Bonamassa. He uses it in mountain climbing. So the pre-chorus is I like how that just calms things down and then it explodes again for the chorus. So yeah, I will play around with this, but probably like basically what I'm thinking is that I always gravitate towards one thing, then a variation on that thing, then back to the same thing, like variation, this sort of question and answer type of stuff. But then it can become a little bit predictable. But yeah, sometimes I will be obsessed with just 2 bars, and then in the end it's not that complicated. And already I know that my problem is that I tend to change things all the time because I'm afraid that people are going to be bored or something, because sometimes a song is just for whatever amount of bars. Yeah, triplets and triplets and triplets and hey. Already 1 minute, guys. Well, not really, because there's 2 blank measures. Yeah, it's slowly becoming something. But playing the right notes is better. Okay, so I just recorded what will be the chorus, and this is when things start to get, well, not complicated, but I tend to just think a little bit, maybe too much, because when you analyze most of the songs, and most of the songs that I like, then the second verse is mostly the same as the first one, just with other lyrics, or a little variation on the melody. And since I'm a guitar player and I always start from the guitar most of the time. Sometimes I start from the melody, but usually I start from the guitar. Well, it seems like a little bit too monotonous if I do exactly the same. But then if I do another thing, it can become a never-changing flow of riffs, and then the song is not coherent. So I don't know, guys. But yeah, if you guys compose, what do you do when it comes to, making the second verse the same but not the same. Okay, I already know what I'm going to do the same thing but change it a little bit. I think I did that for the knock on wood thing. This stuff. And then I do the same, but instead of, you know, doing hammer-ons, I do pull-ups. So instead of doing the... Sorry. I will probably do... That for sure. It keeps the same vibe. And if you don't think about it, you don't notice it. But still, it may create a little bit of novelty for the ear. I've been at it for an hour and a half. Lunch is ready. It's 12 p.m. here. So yeah, pretty happy with where I'm at this morning. Just the bridge and the solo and the last chorus to go. And then we can actually do something with drums and bass. So yeah, that will be this afternoon. So see you after lunch, and hopefully I won't be too sleepy. Okay, so lunch break is over. I had to take a little bit of time to charge my phone. While my phone was charging, I noodled around a little bit with the guitar, and I think I have some direction on where I want to go for the bridge, the solo, and basically what's left of the song. I have two ideas. So the first one is pretty simple. It's a little bit of a chuggy-chugger thing. Progressively you increase the tension, or I think like... You know, something like that. And then the second thing is... No. So, hey, it seems to work. Look at this. You don't want that noise at the beginning of, you know, each silence, because, you know, silence is supposed to be silent. That's great. Yeah, and now we are completely gone, but then you go all over the place. Okay, so while all the files were being transferred to my computer for storage issues, I've kept busy and I basically programmed the drums. And so hopefully you see in this camera, hello there, hopefully you can see the screen correctly. And yeah, basically I'm going to show you how I've done it. So I use EZdrummer 2 from TuneTrack. The great thing about this plugin, even though I have to still figure out, you know, what the best sounds are and so on, I'm not quite comfortable yet sharing mixing advice or whatever, because I'm currently taking lessons and trying to figure all this out. So I'm just going to talk from a composition point of view and perspective. First of all, I'm not a drummer. I don't have a slave drummer that can play whenever I want to. So this is the best thing that I've found so far. Because of course I can program my own drums, but what I tend to do for a more human approach is that I've purchased some MIDI packs from them, which are basically, MIDI captures of drummers who have played their stuff. And so what I tend to use a lot is go to the search function once I have, my go-to thing here. I go to the search thing, tap to find, and then I just Usually when I'm composing, I have an idea for the drums that I want. So if I want a so the boom means that I want some toms in there. Good enough. Yeah, sometimes just dialing in something a little bit simpler than what you have in mind. So for example here the tum bra instead of da. Then the software analyzes and shows you things that are matching. So then, of course, in Superior Drummer you can tweak it from the plugin itself. On EZdrummer you can't, but then just I import it in the drum track and then move things around. I basically use this for fills. The track to packet the packet boom. It gives a ton of energy and helps with all the transitions. The track is not so static, so I tend to put a lot of fills. So everything that's in orange, it's actually some fills. Once I have the groove that I want, I just drag it into the song creator, and that gives a ton of options here. I don't use it for the whole song, but just for little sections. And also see if there's something that's matching even more to what I have in mind. And also, you have fills that usually go pretty good with the groove that you've selected. Of course, I will then dive into the individual things to move around some hits. For example, here the dun-ga, I'm gonna just, double the bass drum to do a tugu-tugu-ba. So yeah, instead of tum-tum-ba. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, so you see, you don't even have to keep the entire feel or whatever, but just to have that gives some excitement. Yeah, okay. Let's see if there's something like that. Let's see. Calm down. Yeah, I think that's not bad. You will see, once we put the drums, it's much more motivating. Even though, working on the drums is, super tiring. When you find the right beat and so on, it's very ego boosting. But if you struggle to find the right thing, it can get tedious very quickly, because in the end you are listening to a drummer all the time to so that's a little bit intense sometimes. After that, the song comes much more alive, and then it's easier to record the rest. And now it's time for the bass. So time is slowly running out. So there's no guarantees whatsoever that, you know, I will have a finished composition at the end of the day. And hopefully recording the bass is not going to be too much of a struggle. I mean, I'm not a bass player, so it's always tricky. And once again, just for the same reason that I use EZdrummer, well, here I record bass because I don't have a slave bass player here to play bass for all my songs, so I just do it myself. I sleep. So now I'm getting picky, but that's because, you know, now it's the real thing. So it has to be good. Okay. Wrong note. Yeah. Alright, so I have written the lyrics and composed what would be the main melody. I'm gonna record it so that it's officially in there, and yeah, that will be it for today. Is it broken? It is broken. Shit. Okay. I just broke my headphones. Well, I will do it with the in-ears then. You won't be hearing the playback, otherwise, you know, the song will be also in the mic. So that's not something that you want. And yeah, then it will be it for today. So let's record. I don't feel alright. Too much work on site, slowly dying inside. Don't want to even try. Easy to say, don't overthink, but what if it's bad? Got no time for this, no, I got no time. It's a shame, but the choice is not mine. What are you saying? Stop complaining. Get to it, start from the beginning. Contemplating my life. And that's it. Oh, messy here. Yeah. Just gonna check out if everything is going smoothly. From the beginning! And that's it, that's a composition. So as I said, now I'm going to, well, work on the guitars, basically re-record them, but correctly. Do the same for the vocals, maybe add a little bit of arrangement here and there with some ambient stuff. But yeah, the composition is done! Hooray! So the challenge has been achieved. I didn't know really what to expect coming in, and I'm very happy of how it turned out. Hopefully you've enjoyed this concept, as much as I did, because I mean, it's fun having you guys during the process. That way you can see the problems I encounter, and yeah, that way you can also give your opinion on the process. Maybe you can give me some ideas for the next songs. And if you want to see the final result for this song, well, it will be next week's video, of course, you know, after all the mixing and stuff that I said. And if you're watching this in the future, well, congratulations, you don't have to wait. It will be somewhere around here for you to click and go check it out. Whether you're watching this from the past, the present, the future, from Mars, from the moon, whatever, wherever you're watching this, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for making till the end of this video. It's always a pleasure for me to make videos for you guys, so once again, thank you very much. I've been Antoine Mikhtarian, and I will see you very, very soon.